Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Ryan. Welcome to Speak Up, where we keep things real, helpful, and all about making your English stronger every day. Whether you're on your way to work, making dinner, or just relaxing, we're happy you're here. Today's topic is close to the heart of anyone building a better future. And trust me, it's something every professional needs to hear.
Hi, friends. I'm Priya, and I know many of you listening are working hard, supporting your families, and trying to grow in your careers. Learning English isn't just about passing a test or speaking like the movies. It's about opening real doors in your life. That's what this episode is about, and we've got some eye-opening points coming your way.
And it doesn't matter if your English isn't perfect yet. This podcast is for people just like you. People who want to speak more confidently, more clearly, and more naturally at work and in daily life. We're not here to impress, we're here to progress. Together.
Exactly. So if you've ever asked yourself, is English really that important for my job? Or can it actually help me earn more or grow faster? You're in the right place. Let's talk about what makes the English language such a powerful tool for your career.
All right, so we've talked about how English can be a real game changer in your life. Now let's dig into why it's such a big deal for your career. One major reason? English is the global language of business. If you look around, whether it's a multinational company, a tech startup, or even a hotel in Dubai, English is everywhere. In fact, over 70% of global emails are written in English. That's not just a random number. It shows how important it is to communicate clearly in English if you want to grow professionally.
Totally agree, Ryan. I've seen this with friends who work in companies where the team is spread across India, Germany, the US, and Japan. Guess what language they all use to connect? English. Whether it's Zoom meetings, project updates, or simple chats on Slack, it's all in English. And it's not just about being fluent, it's about being able to get your message across clearly and confidently. That's where the real English for business skills come in. It's not about sounding perfect, it's about being effective.
Exactly. And even if you work locally, the moment your company connects with global clients or partners, English becomes necessary. Look at the aviation industry. English is the official language for pilots and air traffic control around the world. Or science and tech. Most of the top research papers, software documentation, and conferences are in English. That's why English for career growth isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's a must.
And here's something interesting. Companies often promote people who can represent them well in English. I had a student, Ravi, who worked in a tech company. He was technically brilliant, but he never got client-facing roles because he struggled with English. Once he built up his confidence and vocabulary, he got promoted within months. Why? Because he could now speak on calls, explain his ideas, and build trust with international clients.
That's a great example, Priya. And it shows the real truth. Communication is currency. When you can express yourself in English at a global level, you suddenly become more valuable. Your resume stands out, your confidence grows, and you're seen as a leader. That's the power of English for business. It opens doors that talent alone sometimes can't.
Yes, and let's be honest, English isn't replacing your culture or identity. It's just a tool, like a passport, that lets you travel further in your career. Whether you're applying for a job, running a business, or attending a conference, strong English gives you a global voice. And that voice is your ticket to bigger opportunities.
Now that we've understood how English is the global language of business, let's talk about what that actually means for your job opportunities. The truth is, more English means more doors open. If you look at job sites or hiring platforms, you'll notice something very common: English communication skills required. It's everywhere. Whether you're applying for a job in IT, customer support, hospitality, or even teaching, English is listed as a must-have. Why? Because employers know you'll need to talk to clients, attend meetings, or read instructions in English.
Absolutely, Ryan. I've seen job postings where everything looks perfect. The salary, location, and role. But the one thing that makes people hesitate is the English requirement. It's especially true in customer service and IT, where calls or chats with foreign clients are common. Even in tourism and hotels, if you can't explain something in English, you miss out on interacting with international guests. That's why improving your English skills for job success is not just an advantage anymore, it's essential.
And you know what's interesting? Even jobs that seem local now require global communication. For example, many small Indian tech firms handle overseas projects. If you're part of the team but can't write a clear email or speak confidently on a Zoom call, you might get left behind, even if your technical skills are strong. That's why companies prefer hiring people who can think and talk in English fluently. It saves them time and helps their business grow faster.
Exactly. Let me give you a real-life example. A friend of mine works in Bangalore in a tech company. She said her manager openly told the team, "If you want promotions, you must improve your spoken English." It wasn't meant to be rude. It's just the reality of today's job market. The better your English, the more client-facing roles you get, and the faster you grow in your career. That's why I always say, don't wait till the interview to work on your English. Start now.
Exactly. Let me give you a real-life example. A friend of mine works in Bangalore in a tech company. She said her manager openly told the team, "If you want promotions, you must improve your spoken English." It wasn't meant to be rude. It's just the reality of today's job market. The better your English, the more client-facing roles you get, and the faster you grow in your career. That's why I always say, don't wait till the interview to work on your English. Start now.
And it's not just about speaking perfectly. Many people think they need fluent American English to get jobs. That's not true. What employers really want is clear, confident, and mistake-free communication. You don't need a fancy accent. You need understandable English. Once you reach that level, you'll be surprised at how many job interviews, roles, and promotions start showing up. English really is a job magnet when you use it right.
Now that we've seen how English can open job doors, let's talk about something everyone cares about: salary. The simple truth is, better English often leads to better pay. Many companies offer higher salaries to people who can speak, write, and present well in English. Why? Because those people can handle bigger clients, more responsibility, and even represent the company globally. When your English is strong, you're seen as someone who adds more value, and that value reflects in your paycheck.
Absolutely, Ryan. I've seen this so many times. Two people doing the same job, but the one who speaks better English gets promoted faster, gets invited to client meetings, or even sent for international training. And yes, they also get better salary packages. It's not just about what you do, it's how well you communicate it. Employers trust good communicators more because they make the whole team look professional. That's why English is not just a soft skill, it's a money skill too.
Absolutely, Ryan. I've seen this so many times. Two people doing the same job, but the one who speaks better English gets promoted faster, gets invited to client meetings, or even sent for international training, and yes, they also get better salary packages. It's not just about what you do, it's how well you communicate it. Employers trust good communicators more because they make the whole team look professional. That's why English is not just a soft skill, it's a money skill too.
Yes, and I'd add that strong English also builds confidence. When you're confident in meetings, when you can share your ideas clearly, people notice. You're seen as a leader, not just a worker. And with leadership comes growth, and growth brings more money. I had a student who started improving her English just to pass interviews, but now she's giving presentations to clients in the UK, and yes, her salary doubled in just 2 years. That's the power of English for career growth and salary increase.
Wow, that's inspiring. And honestly, many people have the skills, but their English is the barrier. Once they fix that, everything else moves faster. Promotions come quicker, job offers increase, and yes, salaries go up. It's like removing a block from your career path. That's why I always say, treat English like an investment, not just in learning, but in earning. The more you polish it, the more rewards you'll see.
Exactly. And the best part, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be clear, confident, and consistent. That's what companies want. If you can express ideas, handle feedback, and connect with clients in English, your value in the workplace goes up immediately. So if anyone's listening and wondering, is it really worth learning English deeply? The answer is yes, especially if you want better pay, faster promotions, and more professional success.
Now that we've explored how better English can boost your salary, let's go a little deeper. Let's talk about growth inside your current job. A lot of people think they need to switch jobs to move forward. But sometimes you just need better English for workplace communication. Imagine being able to lead a meeting clearly, write perfect emails, or present your ideas without fear. These things make you stand out, even if you're not in a senior role yet. English is the skill that quietly builds your reputation.
Yes, and I've seen this happen many times. People who improve their English start getting noticed more. Their managers trust them with client calls, important reports, and even presentations. Why? Because they're confident and professional. And confidence in the workplace often starts with communication. When you speak clearly, your ideas sound smarter. When you write a sharp email, people take you seriously. That's how you start climbing the ladder without changing companies.
Exactly, Priya. And let's be honest, almost every workplace task today involves English. Meetings, video calls, team chats, reports, emails, the list goes on. If your English is weak, even if you're skilled, it's harder to shine. But if your English is strong, your skills speak louder. People notice your presence. That's what we call leadership communication. And it starts way before you get the manager title. It starts the moment you speak with confidence.
I love that. Leadership communication. So true. And it's not just about sounding fancy, it's about being effective. Can you explain your point without confusion? Can you answer questions in a meeting? Can you network at an office party or write a solid report? These things create career advancement with English, even if your job title stays the same. You become the go-to person for your team, and that often leads to promotions and new responsibilities.
And the best part is, you don't need to learn complex vocabulary to do this. You just need clear sentences, good grammar, and the right tone. For example, learning how to politely disagree or how to explain something step by step, that's real workplace English, and it's very doable. Even 15 minutes of focused learning a day can change how you perform in your role, because the better your English, the better you connect, and connection is what drives success.
Absolutely. So for everyone listening, if you're already working but feel stuck, look at your communication. Can you express yourself easily in English at work? If not, that's the first place to grow. English isn't just for job interviews, it's for daily office life. And once you master that, your current role becomes your launchpad. You don't just survive at work, you thrive. That's the power of smart English learning.
So now that we've covered how English helps you grow at work, let's move to something even more personal. Job interviews. Whether it's your first job or a promotion, interviews are key moments. And in most companies today, English is the language of interviews. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be clear and confident. First impressions matter a lot. If you fumble your introduction or struggle to explain your skills, the interview can start on the wrong foot.
Yes, Ryan, and sometimes it's not about what you say, but how you say it. Let's do a quick role play just to show the difference. Here's an example of a weak English intro in an interview. Hi, I am Priya. I want a job. I am a hard-working person. Now compare that with this. Hello, I'm Priya. I have 3 years of experience in customer service, and I'm excited to join a team where I can grow and learn more. See the difference? The second one is confident, clear, and structured. That's the kind of English that sticks in the interviewer's mind.
Absolutely. That's why English interview tips can be game changers. Start with simple things. Practice your introduction, describe your skills, explain your past job experience. Learn a few polite phrases like, "I'd be happy to explain more," or, "That's a great question." These small sentences show you're ready and respectful. And always prepare for common questions like, "Tell me about yourself," or, "What are your strengths?" These come up almost every time.
Exactly. And here's something I always tell learners. Don't memorize answers word for word. Instead, learn ideas. Think in small sentence blocks you can mix and match. For example, if they ask why you want the job, say, "I've followed your company for a while and admire your work in the tech space." Simple, right? You don't need big words. Just honesty, clarity, and a natural tone. That's how you speak English in interviews with real confidence.
And confidence comes from practice, not from perfect grammar. One thing that really helps is voice recording. Record yourself answering interview questions. Then listen and notice where you pause, where you sound nervous, or where your words don't flow. This is how you train your ears and tongue to work together. It might feel awkward at first, but it works fast. You'll start catching your weak spots and building stronger answers naturally.
That's a great tip, and remember, even one strong sentence in an interview can change the way the interviewer sees you. If you say, "I love solving problems and learning new systems," that shows initiative. If you say, "I'm ready to take on challenges," that shows courage. With the right English, you don't just answer questions, you create impact. And that's how you stand out from other candidates. Your English becomes your advantage, not your weakness.
Now that we've explored how to stand out in interviews, let's dive into something that trips up many learners: grammar, but not the boring kind. We're talking about simple grammar that actually helps you sound better in real conversations. The truth is, you don't need to master every grammar rule in the book. You just need to focus on the essentials: tenses, question forms, prepositions, and modals. These are the tools you use every day when you talk to someone at work, in a meeting, or even on a video call.
Exactly, Ryan. Let's be honest. Many learners get stuck trying to use complex grammar that native speakers rarely use. But what actually makes your English clear and persuasive is using the basics correctly. For example, instead of saying, "He went to the office yesterday," just saying, "He went to the office yesterday" already sounds much more natural. And question forms like, "Do you need help?" Or, "Can I join the meeting?" These small things boost your confidence fast. These are the kind of English grammar tips that truly work.
And let's talk about modals for a second. Words like can, should, must, might. These are powerful when you're giving advice or speaking at work. For example, "You should send that email now" sounds more natural than "you need to send an email." And here's a quick grammar hack. If you're ever unsure about prepositions, just simplify. Instead of "he is good in English," say "he is good at English." Just like that, your sentence gets cleaner. These are the small wins that build big confidence.
That's so true. Another great hack? Keep your sentences short and active. Instead of saying, "The report was written by me yesterday," just say, "I wrote the report yesterday." Clear, director, easy to understand. That's the kind of English people actually use. So don't let grammar stress you out. Let it help you express ideas more smoothly. Think of grammar as your tool, not a trap.
And here's another way to practice. Use apps or flashcards that focus only on daily grammar points. Spend just 5 minutes on one tense or one question form. The idea isn't to study grammar for hours, but to learn it in context, the way real people speak. You'll start to hear the difference. You'll speak cleaner, more confidently, and you'll stop second-guessing yourself every time you open your mouth.
Yes, and before we wrap up this part, there's one tense that English learners overuse, and it's actually making their English sound weaker in real situations. We're going to tell you which tense it is and how to fix it fast. Stay with us, because this tip can totally change the way you sound in English conversations.
Now that we've talked about grammar for real conversations, let's shift gears and look at something even more powerful: communication skills. In every office, company, or team, the people who grow the fastest aren't just smart. They're great communicators. And guess what? English communication is a big part of that. Whether you're leading a meeting, giving feedback, or solving problems with your team, how you express your ideas in English can make a huge difference.
Absolutely, Ryan. Let's talk about soft skills, things like teamwork, leadership, or negotiation. These are skills that companies value a lot. And if you can do all that clearly in English, you instantly become more valuable. For example, think of someone who can calm a client, explain ideas clearly, or motivate a team in English. That person naturally gets noticed more, gets trusted more, and usually gets promoted faster. That's the power of soft skills combined with good English.
And I've actually seen this happen. One of my friends was working in a support role at a tech company. He didn't have the highest technical skills, but his English was clear, warm, and professional. He knew how to lead a meeting, write clean emails, and even handle small conflicts. Within a year, he was promoted to a team leader role. Why? Because of his English communication. It made him look more confident and capable in front of senior managers. That's what we mean when we say, boost your career with English.
That's a great example. And it's something we see a lot. People who speak up clearly in English often get picked for bigger roles, not just because of their words, but because they sound ready. Leadership isn't just about giving orders, it's about connection. And English helps you connect with more people, inside your company and outside. Whether you're leading a team call or pitching an idea, English communication for promotion is a real advantage.
Exactly. And sometimes, it's not about how much you know, it's about how well you can share it. You might have amazing ideas, but if you can't explain them in English, they get lost. On the other hand, if you can talk about your work confidently in meetings or interviews, you stand out. Even things like saying, "Let me clarify that," or "Here's a quick summary," can show leadership and control. These phrases are simple, but powerful.
So true. If you're aiming to grow in your current job or move to a higher position, start focusing on your English communication. Not just grammar, but also tone, clarity, and body language. You don't need perfect English, you need practical, clear, and confident English. And when you combine that with strong soft skills, you'll climb the ladder a lot faster. Trust us, the results are real.
Finally, let's talk about one of the biggest game changers in today's career world, building an international network. Think about it. We're living in a time where your next client, mentor, or opportunity could be from another country. Whether it's on LinkedIn, at a global webinar, or during an online course, you'll need English to make that connection. It's not just about having a profile, it's about starting conversations that could lead to your next job or business deal.
Yes. And I love how English opens those doors. I've met so many people from different countries just because I felt confident enough to send a message or join a live session in English. When you speak even basic but clear English, people notice. They reply, they engage, and before you know it, you're exchanging ideas, resources, or even job referrals. That's the power of English for professional networking. It helps you reach beyond your local circle and into a global one.
Exactly. And here's something real. Many companies now expect their employees to have global communication skills. That means speaking comfortably with people from different countries, accents, and cultures. English is the bridge. It helps you connect not just with clients, but also with colleagues during international projects. The more you use it, the more confident you feel speaking up in group chats, video calls, and even online communities.
And confidence is everything. I always tell learners, you don't need perfect grammar, you need courage. And English gives you that courage. It helps you say hello to someone new on LinkedIn or ask a question during a live webinar. These small steps can lead to big breakthroughs. Whether you're aiming for global career opportunities or just want to learn more from international experts, English is your access key.
I totally agree. And if you're listening today and wondering, where should I start? Start small. Join a free online group, comment on an English post, or introduce yourself in a global community. Every little interaction helps build your confidence and your network. English turns your voice into a global tool, and that's incredibly powerful for your career.
And with that, we've reached the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We hope this discussion helped you see how learning English is not just about grammar books or tests. It's about real career power. From interviews to promotions, from LinkedIn to leadership, English is your ladder to success.
This is Ryan and Priya from the Speak Up channel saying thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow, share, and leave a comment. Let us know what topic you'd love to hear next. Until then, keep learning, keep speaking, and keep growing.